What you gotta do is use that pattern chain. That's what you gotta do. SP-404MKII secret is the pattern chain. If you use that, beats all day, especially if you have your sounds ready. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G, Charles Paris. And the O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I got the Roland SP-404MKII. You know what it is. Right now, I'm just lining out and prepping some samples that I already had. Some one-shots. You could get all these one-shots from the SP-404 Stimmy Pack. That Stimmy Pack is where it's at, guys. You could get the master class, all of the sounds, gigs on gigs of sounds for your SP-404 templates. And I just introduced the O.T.G SP-404 web app and guide. So now that comes too. It's a web app. It has all of the button combinations, the cheat sheet. It's got some drum patterns, effects list, everything. And it works on your phone. All that's included in the Stimmy Pack. Go check that out for the SP-404MKII. I'll put it in the link in the description and the first comment. All right. Now, pattern chain, SP-404MKII. What I'm doing right now, I have a 1-bar loop that I'm using in TR Rec just to get my drums together. We could go back and fix our drums afterwards. We can add more variations and do all that stuff. But let's just get a simple drum pattern. We got 3 sounds already. Kick, snare, hi-hat. We're going to put our stuff together. You can see I chose a very simple BPM. You know, this methodology works great when you already have sounds laid out. One of the keys of the SP-404 is it takes a long time to get your sounds loaded, but once you got them loaded, you can make unlimited beats with those sounds. And now that I have a quick pattern, 1-bar drum, I could go back, audition some of these old sounds that I have, and let's see how I could use them in a beat. So I'm going to go out and copy my empty drum pattern a bunch of times. The reason why I do that is so then I don't have to go back and make major edits. You know, we just starting with a raw drum pad for pad. So now I could go through and just add sound each time. So I'm going to make 4 copies of that pattern. Boom. And I'm going to add that out. Push that out. So now I'm going to go to pattern 2, go to pattern edit, and I'm going to duplicate that pattern and turn it into 2 bars. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to press exit, go to pattern 3. We're going to turn it to 2 bars. Right? We're going to exit. We're going to go to pattern 4. We're going to turn it to 2 bars. Boom. All right. And now that we got that set, we got a 2-bar loop. Now let's just hit record and lay each one of our sounds down. So we laying this sound down. We're going to press exit. Boom. 1 sound down. Now let's switch to our next pattern. Hit record. Let it loop. Boom. Next sound. Now we cooking with fish grease. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. All right. Now we on pattern 4. Switch that over. SP-404MKII vibes. We getting into that pattern chain. Boom. Now we got that, right? Let's lay that down. Now we have that. Let's go make a bunch of 1-bar patterns. So let's copy pattern 1 to pattern 5. I'm weird. I like to go up and down. That's how I can keep track of what I got going on. You know, 2-bar patterns going across, 1-bar patterns going down. You know, and now this is how I can make a bunch of variations. So let's go to pad 5, add our sound. Let's go to pattern 9, add part 2. Let's go to pattern 13, add part 3. Boom. We can hit exit now. And now we have 1 2-bar loop with one bar loop with no drums, 3 1-bar loops with our progression, and 3 2-bar loops with our progression, right? And so now we can interchange in between 2-bar loops and 1-bar loops. And now we can start to build on it. But just for, I'm not trying to build an amazing beat. I am not trying to build an amazing beat. What I'm trying to do is show you how to do this, son. Remind you, I call you son because you shine like one. I'm in a goofy mood today, guys. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. Really good mood. All right. So now what we're going to do is let's add some variations to those drums. We could now go through, use our TR Rec as a way to create some different movement with the drums. So we don't just have one drum loop over and over again. We could leave our hi-hat how it is. You could go and take it off. You could change your snare. You could do a bunch of things. But I just want to show you how you could get into it quickly. If you have your sounds laid out, you have pretty much a project loaded, hop in there today, go in there, open up some stuff, try this method. Because I'm telling you, pattern chain is what's going to help you. It's going to help you change everything you're doing. All right, so now when I started, you heard me getting that bass together. I'm just going to throw some generic bass stabs on there just to give it some feel. And also just to show you how you can make different variations quickly once you have it set up. Preparation is one of the things on the SP-404. I tell people all the time, man, if you're not doing something, if you're bored, if you watch a TV, if you got an extra time, go through, load you some projects up, make some templates, load different drums up, load different one-shots up, get everything together. So on days you want to come in and you want to make beats, you have 5 projects that are full with 5 banks full of sounds, and you could take those and just go crazy. You understand? Check out that stimmy pack if you're missing one-shots. If you're missing drum sounds, I got drum loops in there. Everything you need to take your SP-404 to the next level. And if you get the stimmy pack, you get access to the basic 404 masterclass, which has over 4 or 5 hours worth of videos. And all those concepts are used to create music in real time. I'm not just sitting around showing you a bunch of other stuff. We're going to make some beats. Whether the beats are amazing or the beats are terrible, what we're going to do if you mess with me on this channel is make more music than the average person. Then we can always come back and make it better. We get our muscle memory up. We can add effects. We can strip the drums and then sample it and then create our own samples. There's a lot of things when people ask, why do you just make so many beats? Why don't you get emotionally invested into every single beat that you make? Because I'm a producer and I'm a musician, and some beats might not make it, but I could go back, mute the drums, mix down just the music or melody part, sample that, speed it up, add new drums. All right, now we're in the pattern chain, right? So when you're in pattern select mode, all you got to do is hit hold and then select your pattern. I selected pattern 4 and I just threw some stuff on there. As you saw, I have so many different pattern setups, and this is also how you could get that first layer of mixing done on your beat. So I have the EQ set to my filter drive. I like to, make my beats kind of distort and clip sometimes. Certain beats on the SP-404, I like to add the 404 sound and then crank up the EQ on it. And then, I might turn it down later. I don't know. Here's the thing with pattern chaining. All of this I'm going to do, but, right, when I record and mix it down, I'm going to hit resample. So it's just going to make a version with those effects baked into it. When I turn those effects off, my pattern's still there, butt naked. Sorry for using that, but it's there. So I could go and add new stuff on it, try a different combination, resample it down to another pad. I don't like the sound of the hi-hats, resample it down to another pad. We could get it going. Matter of fact, instead of telling you about it, let me just show you, right? So let's go to pattern select, hit resample. It's going to take me to a bank. I'm going to select the pad. Now I'm going to hit hold. I'm going to hit pad 4, and then when I hit sub pad, boom, we're recording. And now we're recording our pattern chain with the effects. How dope is that? That's all I wanted to show you guys. I told you, pattern chain is where it's at, man. Pattern chain is where it's at. We're mixing this one down with effects. We could run it down again with no effects. We can create 10 more if we wanted. We could create 9 more sequences or patterns, and we could go in depth with that. I think one of the things that I would recommend, Roland, if you're listening, is that we could pattern chain our pattern chain. You get what I mean? So it would be cool if I could pattern chain pattern 4 to pattern 5, or to pattern chain 5, and then create super extensive and long arrangements. That would be cool. Maybe we can. If we can, I'll find it. But right now, I don't know if we can. So, that's just one of my tips. But you see how fast we got it. Let me look at the clock. All right, in 12 minutes, utilizing a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, 3 different one-shot samples, so that's 6 sounds, and a bass. 7 sounds. We made 7 patterns. We got it lined up into a pattern chain, and we got it together. And so now, if I wanted to rap, I could pull out my mic, and we could get it going. But that's what I'm not going to do. I'm going to save that for the next tutorial. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out that masterclass, pattern chain on the SP-404MKII. It's your brother O.T.G.